Hi everyone! Today I'm going to share 10 products that social media made me buy and whether or not I think they're worth it. Now, to be honest, I do love many of them, but there are definitely some that I wouldn't recommend. So if we haven't met already, my name is Jo, and I'm a lover of all luxury bags and beauty. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification button so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So before we start, I want to share a bit about today's sponsor, who is the jewelry brand Idyl, and they're actually the inspiration for this video. Now, I've seen their jewelry featured on a number of celebrities, to include Jessica Alba, and then YouTubers as well, to include Amber Ashley, who you guys know that I just love so much. So when they reached out to me, I was really excited to try their products, especially as this year I've really been expanding my jewelry collection and trying out different pieces. But I have to say there is something different about Idyl, and I think it really starts with the absolutely beautiful unboxing experience. I was really blown away by just the luxuriousness of their unboxing. It was just so beautiful. And then there were so many extra little pieces that came with the jewelry itself. So I've been looking for something that I can wear every day, and I found these gorgeous lab-grown diamond studs. So they come in 3 different sizes. They come in petite, medium, and big. So I got these. These are the big size. What I love is that you can build on these diamond studs with add-ons. So in this case, I went with the Lucia style, which are these little string of, again, lab-grown diamonds that you will have crowning the bottom of your earlobe. All you do is, once you have this in your ear, then you can just attach it like this, and then you would put the backing in. And then you have a totally different look now with just that little piece added in there. Now I got these in the gold, and they are 14 karat gold, which I love because I can wear them in the shower. I don't have to take them off, and I don't have to fear that they're going to tarnish or fade. Speaking of which, I've actually slept in these earrings, and I don't typically sleep with earrings on. I don't always find that to be very comfortable, or I feel like when I wear earrings in my ears for long periods, they get irritated. And I will say that I haven't experienced either of those issues in wearing these. I have been able to sleep in them, so I'm excited because now I do feel like I actually have my pair of everyday earrings that I can wear that just always kind of looks leveled up without being, impractical or fading. I also picked out this cuff that is absolutely stunning, and I've always wanted to get a cuff piercing, but I always chickened out. So I love that I can get this look without making anything permanent, and I really like the style combo of the cuff with the Lucia add-on and that diamond stud. So overall, do I think these are worth it? I do. From the luxe experience of the unboxing to the versatility of the pieces, which for me is the biggest selling point, as well as the quality of the products, I do think that this is something worth investing in, particularly because the pricing is far lower than natural diamonds as well. So to me, it does make sense as to why I see them so much on social media, and I have seen so many positive reviews. I will definitely leave more information and their website in the description below. And if you plan to check them out, I do have a code. It's LittleBean10 if you're looking for an additional discount. And thank you again to Idyl for sponsoring this portion of the video. Okay, so now let's start digging into my top 10 list. So the first item I have is the Louis Vuitton Mini Pochette. Now this is one of my first luxury items that I really feel like I was influenced to buy. I purchased mine back in, I think 2022, I believe. And this was back in like the heyday of the mini pochette. And I remember saving up for weeks and even months and just doing so much research to try and find the best option on the pre-loved market. Because even at that time, I remember thinking that the retail price for the mini pochette was insane. And that was back when it retailed for $540, which again, I just thought was ridiculous. So I can only imagine what people's opinions of the price would be now, given that it is retailing for $795. Again, that's nuts. But anyway, I won't spend too much time reviewing this one as it is quite common, but overall, this is really just such a great catch-all. It is small, yet it can really fit a lot. Mine is stuffed right now, as you can see, but I love that you can wear this as a wristlet since it comes with this beautiful chain here. So you can wear this and just carry it like this as a little mini bag. You can detach the lobster clasp here and make it into a wristlet. You can add a crossbody strap on it and make it into a mini bag. There are just so many options with this. So really, in terms of pros, again, that versatility of this piece is really great. And overall, it is just such a cute size and silhouette. And I just think it is such a classic piece. In terms of cons, I would say that given its size, it is hard to fit into smaller mini bags. So as you know, I am a mini bag girl, and so there are times that I really can't reach for this one because if I put the mini pochette in my bag, it would take up the entire space in my mini bag. Obviously, the price is a huge con, at least the retail price, I would say. I think it is very much overpriced for what it is. But you can still find better deals on the pre-loved market, especially because it's such a popular piece. Overall, though, I do think this is a gorgeous piece. I think it's going to stand the test of time, and I would definitely recommend it. But again, I would just recommend shopping pre-loved for this one. So number 2 on the list is the Pochette Accessoire. Now, I got this bag a few years ago through a collab I did with a Japanese reseller. So I was given the option to pick an item from their website, and I went with this one because it was just so popular and I kept seeing it everywhere on social media. I just feel like many see this piece as a gateway bag into the luxury world. It's seen as the, kind of cheaper end of the pieces that Louis Vuitton offers. And in fact, I believe this one is still listed as a small leather good. So in terms of pros, this bag is a great size. It can hold a phone and a variety of other items with no issue. It's meant to slip onto your shoulder, which is such a 90s and early 2000s vibe, which is very on trend right now. But that said, I have to be honest, I hate this bag. As I've mentioned before, I just hate how the zipper tends to get all wonky if you put too much into the bag. And overall, I just don't feel like it just gives off a very chic or polished vibe, especially when it gets all bulky like that. And so I just really struggle to use it. And it doesn't really have any special features. It doesn't have any exterior pockets. It doesn't have any interior pockets. It's just a pouch. And because of that, I just don't ever really feel drawn to using it. And if I'm honest, the only reason I still have this in my collection is so I can use it in my size comparison videos, because it's such a common bag that I feel like most people either know of or have in their collection. So it might help them when I'm trying to show how big a different bag size is. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this one if I'm 100% honest. I do think there are so many other options that are better out there, and we'll actually touch on one of those later on in the video. So for number 3, we have the Chanel flap wallet. You guys, I was obsessed with getting this wallet. I had just gotten my first Chanel bag, which was my mini pearl crush, a few months prior, and I was just bitten by the Chanel bug. And I really wanted to add this SLG to my collection. And it was popping up on a number of social media accounts that I followed. And every time I saw it, I just wanted it more and more. But it was hard to find in this specific combo, which is the black caviar with the gold hardware. So finally one day my SA reached out and said they got one in stock, and so I snagged it right away. Now, this wallet features a front flap with a snap closure. It's a very satisfying sound, I will say that. And on the back, it does have an extra slot here as well. In the interior, there is one large compartment, and then there is one other slot for a little added organization. So for pros and cons, I do love that I got mine in the black caviar because I do feel like it is more hard wearing, and that's definitely important when it comes to an SLG that you're constantly throwing into your bag and using. I also love the overall look. I love that it coordinates and complements very well with Chanel's flat bags, and I just think it is a very classic looking piece. That said, in terms of cons, I do think that my main beef with this wallet is that it is quite bulky. So right now it's not looking too bad, but if I put all of my cards and everything into this, it does tend to get a little fatter. And then I just feel like it's really hard to use in my mini bags because it just takes up so much space. And for me, in my mini bags, space comes at a premium. Also, there really aren't a lot of great organization options. Like there's not multiple card slots. You just kind of have to put everything basically into this main section, and then you only have two other places to put things. I tend to prefer wallets that have, 5 card slots in there just for ease of access. Finally, the price. I believe I got lucky. I was able to purchase mine for about $500, but it's currently listed on Chanel's website for $625, though it is listed as sold out. So then if you go and search for it pre-loved, it's often being sold for up to $1,000 or sometimes even more. So would I recommend this? To be honest, no. I think there are other wallets from Chanel that I would prefer over this one, or other wallets from other brands if I'm honest. But I do think that I will be keeping this one in my collection. So number 4 is the Fendi Mini Roll. So I purchased this one during my recent trip to Vegas, which I covered in my vlog and my shopping haul on my channel, so be sure to check those out. Now, usually when I'm planning for a shopping trip, especially if I'm going somewhere like Vegas, I like to have a wish list in mind of bags that I want to see or stores that I want to visit. In this case, this bag wasn't even on my radar until I saw it in an Instagram post by Styling by Natalie one morning while we were already in Vegas. I saved the screenshot of the outfit and I decided I was going to just try on the bag at the store. And once I saw it in the store, I just knew that I wanted it and I bought it that very day. So I did do a full review on this bag, and spoiler alert, I just love this one. I love the color, I love the size, I love the fact that there is a zipper on the top for the closure. So overall, it is just so cute, and I've obviously just styled it with some of my favorite bag charms. In terms of cons, given its light color, it may need a little extra TLC. Now, I did spray mine with Scotch Guard, and so far it's holding up pretty well, but it is a light color. It also doesn't come with feet, but as I've noted in my full review, I do add my magnetic handbag heel, so it's not really a huge deal breaker for me. So overall, I do think this is a great bag. I think it is a very practical and functional silhouette, and I would definitely recommend this one. Okay, so let's take a quick detour and cover some of my luxury beauty products that I've been influenced to buy. So coming in at number 5, we have the YSL Make Me Blush powders. Now, I'm pretty sure I purchased these the moment they were released on Sephora. Like, I think I stayed up at midnight that night because I won't lie, I was smitten by the gorgeous packaging. I mean, just look at this. It is so beautiful. So all of the reviews that I had seen online showed these to be super smooth and blendable, and I'm happy to announce that these blushes definitely live up to the hype, to the point that I ended up splurging and buying a second one as well, which is this one here. So I'll go ahead and swatch them for you really quickly. This is the one that I've been wearing every day so far. It has a really beautiful iridescence a bit to it, a little bit of a sheen, and it is absolutely stunning. And then I have this one, which is again a really nice warm matte, and that swatch, so good. These are beautiful shades. So as I said, I use this one daily. It's also the one that I used in my trip to Vegas. So you'll see how the finish looks on my skin in natural light, and it is just stunning. Now, really, I think the main drawback of these is just that they are really crazy high in price. These blushes are $45 a pop. So if you do get them, I would recommend waiting for them to go on sale, like during the Sephora sale. So for number 6, we have the perfume Prada Paradox. Now, I have been seeing this perfume everywhere on social media, and they actually recently have released a few new versions as well. So I've always been drawn to the unique bottle, but I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just have trouble splurging on perfumes, especially given that they are quite pricey. So what I ended up doing is I did actually purchase this Prada travel spray a while ago. I guess it's even changed color at this point. But I'm really glad I did get this because I did fall in love with the scent, and I also love how this little travel version is just really easy to pack into my mini bags. So since I then knew that I really did like the scent, I ended up waiting until there was a really good gift with purchase. And the best one I had seen was from Ulta Beauty. So in purchasing the full-size Prada Paradox perfume, I was able to get this really cool gift box from Prada Beauty as a gift with purchase. So it is very spacious and it is structured as well. It also came with these 2 pouches, so you can separate them like this and have them, you know, just used singularly, or else you can connect them, and then they are a double pouch. And then finally, they also gave me 2 tiny perfumes, which are the baby version. How cute is this? Of the big one here. So if you ever want more tips and tricks on snagging the best gifts with purchase, I actually have a video that is fully dedicated to this topic, so I do hope you check it out. I'll leave it right here. So coming in at number 7, we have the last luxury beauty items we'll be talking about today, and they are the Dior foundation sticks. Now, I mentioned these in a previous video on my most used luxury items, and my thoughts from that video still apply. Now, these had been released a a while back, but to be honest, I was a little hesitant to get them because I've tried a lot of foundation sticks in the past, and I find that they're either super dry and cakey or they're overly creamy and greasy. But then I started to see people apply this specific one, and I was so impressed with how it looked on the skin. In this case, this was definitely a TikTok made me buy it situation. That is where I saw the most people really applying this product. And I will say that this foundation stick really is the perfect mix. It is creamy and blendable, and it makes my skin look so perfected, but it's also a very natural finish and sheen. So I love these so much that I ended up buying a second shade since I got a little more tan this summer, and I just couldn't think about not having this product over the next few months. So this is shade 3N. And as you can see, just look how beautiful that swatch was. This is 2N. This is my winter shade when I'm a little more pale. So honestly, I couldn't recommend these enough. I do sincerely use these every day. And so if you're interested in them, I will be sure to link them below. So for number 8, we have my Goyard pieces. I'm showing my Goyard Mini Senat here, but I'm also including my Artois MM as well. Now, I remember first seeing Goyard back when I was looking at the Extra Petite blog, which is run by Jean Wang. And I remember being so drawn to the canvas pattern, and I just loved that it looked so chic on her, though in fairness, everything looks very chic on her. But I just loved it was unique as well. This was during the time when the Neverfull was in full boom, and I wanted something different. So I didn't actually end up getting one until last year, and the main reason for that was just because I'm not very familiar with the brand, so I didn't really trust myself to purchase one pre-loved. And so I wanted to go directly to a Goyard boutique, which I was able to do when I visited New York. And so I did score. I was able to find the Artois and also this Mini Senat, which I really wanted to get because I just love pouches. I'm just an SLG girl. So in terms of pros and cons, I love that the Artois has the zipper top closure. And again, I just love the structure of it. It has far more structure than the St. Louis. And I also love that the bottom has little leather pieces to protect the corners. Overall, it's a great bag. I just think that the two drawbacks at the moment are the thinner straps and the ridiculous price. That said, if you want to find a bag that is still recognizable but not overly popular, I would say that I would recommend it. And also, of course, I love this little pouch. It really does fit a good amount, but I will say this one is pricey. And at the end of the day, if I'm real, there are plenty of other pouches out there that are just as functional as this one, including the Coach corner zipper wristlet that I have shown a comparison. It is literally the exact same size as this one. So I think it really comes down to if you really want to splurge, if you really like the Goyard canvas, then yes, I would recommend it because this is a really handy pouch size. But if you're just looking for a pouch that is functional, you definitely don't need this one. So for number 9, we have the Louis Vuitton Multi-Clay Lava, or the Multi-Clay Rabat. I've seen it pop up for both of those searches. Now, I was directly influenced by KW Shops here on YouTube. This was one of the wallets that she recommended years ago, and ever since I saw it, I couldn't get it out of my mind. So I eventually found one, and I am so glad that I did because honestly, I love super flat wallets, and this is as flat as you can get. So it has a 2-button snap closure. And then I also love that in the interior, there is a little separation here. So you do have some ability to organize as well. So this one does come with a keyring, but I ended up removing it because I just felt like the keyring for me got in the way since I was using this as my wallet. So I took it off, but I could always add it back if I wanted to. So like I said, I do love this wallet because it is so slim and I just love the look overall. And I love that it is small and thin enough to fit in basically all of my mini bags, yet it can hold a good number of cards. And honestly, in terms of cons, I can't really think of too many. Like, I like the shape. I guess maybe the length of it is a little unnecessary because, I mean, if you put all your cards in, you could probably cut it a little bit and make it a little shorter. Another drawback, I think, is that the buttons can scratch easily, so I do have some scratches on mine. But I'll likely never repair it because the repairs at Louis Vuitton are ridiculous in my opinion, but that's a separate story. But speaking of which, I would think the other major con is just the fact that this piece is discontinued, so it may be a little harder to find. But whenever I use this on social media, I always do my best to link to everything. So if I do see any of these available at the time of posting, I'll be sure to share them in the link description below. And whenever you see me feature this, I'll always be sure to try and link it as well. Okay, and finally, number 10 in the items I was influenced to buy by social media is one of my all-time favorite bags, the Palace Clutch. So I had seen this featured on a video by Emma Anders years ago, and I ended up buying one because of her review. And man, I am so glad I did because as I've shared in many of my videos, I absolutely love this Palace Clutch. I think this is exponentially better than the Pochette Accessoire. To me, it has more style. It has this little pocket here for functionality. It has the black, which I think looks so good with the monogram. It comes with this beautiful chain that you can use to kind of dress up as an evening bag, or it can kind of just lay here and be more decorative. You can switch out the crossbody strap, so it comes with a brown strap, but I also always include a black strap when I travel, so I can wear this with virtually any outfit. Now, in terms of cons, there aren't many. I think the only thing I would really note is the potential for wear and tear because the bag folds the way it does on the corners. It does have a tendency to wear in those spots. You can already see it a little bit on mine. But honestly, if mine wears down, I'm going to buy another one because I'm obsessed with this bag. And of course, again, because it's discontinued, it's a little harder to find, but I do feel like this one does pop up pretty regularly. So overall, I would definitely recommend this piece, and I am so glad that I stumbled across it here on social media. So that wraps up my top 10 list of luxury items I was influenced to buy. I hope you really enjoyed it. And as always, I just love hearing your thoughts in the comments below. What are things that you've been influenced to purchase? Or even better, have I ever influenced you to purchase something? Because I feel like I often get comments from people saying that they've purchased something that I've shared. And so I just love to hear specific examples if you feel comfortable sharing below. As always, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I would love to stay connected with you. And if you want to watch more about my bag collections, I'll leave a playlist right here. Otherwise, bye for now.